video. Hope y'all are doing good. Hope y'all are doing great. Staying blessed as always. So for this video today, I'm gonna do another question of the day, y'all. All right. Before I say the question slash lesson of the day, thank y'all for the comments, the likes, and thank y'all for subscribing. For those of y'all who have, again, I really appreciate y'all. The last video I did with like the vlogging and shopping, that was something a little different that I decided to do, but I definitely love that one. That one was really great. I'm proud of myself for that video. I'm proud of myself. There's definitely going to be a whole bunch of more videos, different videos, so that way I'm not necessarily just in one spot here, which I don't mind being in this spot because it's peaceful, there's nature. I don't know if y'all can hear the birds and the bugs and all that other stuff, but it's calm, so I don't mind being out here. But I also love, like, the last video I did, like I said. Anyways, the question slash lesson of the day is, where do you stand in your relationship with God? Is he someone you only call on when you need something? Or is he someone that you just call on when you need to get out of certain situations? I just think it's crazy how people only tend to call on God when they need something. People only tend to call on God when they're in trouble. People only tend to call on God to get them out of situations that they themselves put themselves in, if that makes sense. Don't mind the airplane if y'all hear it. Even in movies, you see people never believing in God. You see people never talking to God a day in their life. But then when push comes to shove, when they end up in a situation, a life-threatening situation, a situation they got themselves into, then they want to call on God, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I hope y'all can see where I'm getting at while continuing to talk about this question. You claim to not have a relationship with God. You claim to not believe in God, and yet you want to call on him to get you out of the same situations that you put yourself in. Make it make sense. You call on him when things don't go your way. Why is that? You call on God when you need something, but then you end up leaving God in the dust because you don't want everything that comes with having a relationship with God. You don't want the shaping and the molding. You don't want the crushing and the breaking. You don't want God to take you through the healing process. You don't want God to open up your heart. You don't want to find out who you become in Christ, who you become through him. Why is that? Because you don't want to know what change feels like. Because change is scary. I can admit that. When we're so used to a certain flow, a certain schedule, a certain whatever the case may be in our lives, we're so used to that, and then boom, something happens, then we're like, okay, this wasn't in the plans, this wasn't what I was expecting, right? Change can be scary, and you don't want to know what it feels like to carry that weight when it comes to walking with God, because you don't want to feel at all. Walking with God, you have to carry your cross. Walking with God, there's gonna be some things that he needs to get off you, that he needs to break off of you. He needs to refine you. He needs to transform you into someone you never even knew you could become, a version of yourself that you never even knew existed. I truly believe that, when people don't want to feel, they go to the world. Because what does the world do? The world knows how to make you feel numb. It might not be for a long time, but the world knows how to make you feel numb and not feel anything at all. But when it comes to God, you're gonna have to feel everything. You're gonna have to feel everything when walking with God. There's no keeping your feelings in. There's no trying to be numb. There's none of that. When it comes to God, you have to give your heart, and nothing but your whole heart. It could be broken, it could be cracked, it could be bruised, it could be beaten on. But no matter what, when it comes to walking with God, you're gonna have to feel. In a world that tries to tell you that, here, it's okay, I'll give you this to numb the pain, do this and you won't feel anything. Feeling is a part of the journey. Feeling is a part of the process when it comes to walking with God, when it comes to having a relationship with God. But at the end of the day, God is going to heal you. You just need to walk with him through the process. You just need to walk with him through the journey. In Psalms chapter 30 verse 5, it says, "For his anger lasts only a moment, but his favor lasts a lifetime. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Y'all don't know how many times I've talked to God, prayed to God, cried to God in the night, and the next morning I was feeling way better than I was the night before. Let me tell y'all. So the question is, where do you stand with God? Where do you stand in your relationship with God? Are you being a stranger to him? Are you ignoring him? Or are you only calling on him when you need something? When it comes to having a relationship with God, only talking to God when you need something is not how a relationship with him should be. at all. You need to sit with God, talk to God, get to know who God is. God knows everything about you, even when you think he doesn't. He created you. He formed you in your mother's womb. He knows you like the back of his hand. And if you just ask God to show you who he is, if you just ask God to show you that he's been there for you from the jump, if you just ask God to show you who he is, show you that he's never left you, he will show you everything there is to know. All you have to do is ask and you shall receive. And most importantly, just be patient with God, because he's patient with you. And we are so lucky that God is patient with us. If it were anybody else, but God is the one man, the one person who has patience like no other. Know that your timing isn't God's timing. You're running off his time, not your own. So I just want each and every one of y'all to really just sit with this question and think to yourself, where do you stand with God? Start talking to God. It all starts with prayer. Like I said in one of my other videos, with me, it started with prayer from young. It might be a little different for me because I grew up in church. Everybody's story is different, like I said before, but it all starts with prayer. Talking to God. You don't gotta talk to God a certain way. You don't gotta be perfect to talk to God. Talk to him like he's your best friend, because he is your best friend, your one and only. Open up your heart. Let it all out. Patience is everything. His timing is everything. You might not get the results that you want or need in the time that you want it, but best believe that God is going to answer you. God is going to collect every single tear. God is going to heal every single scar, every single amount of pain that you feel. You just have to be patient with God, because again, he's been patient with you. Start that relationship with God. Start talking to God, because he's waiting to hear from you. And if you don't know the answer to this question, that's okay. But if you really want to go after God, if you really want to have a relationship with God, if you really want to hear from God, talk to him. It don't take nothing but open your mouth and talk to God. It could be in your room, in the shower. It could be in your closet. It could be in your prayer closet. It could be at the park by yourself. It could be on a walk. It could be wherever. What you talk about between you and God is between you and God. Whatever goes on between you and God is between you and God. And people aren't going to understand the relationship that you have. They're not going to understand the relationship that you have with God, and that is okay. Because when you have a relationship with God, when God starts to change you, when God starts to mold you into who he is calling you to be and to become, people around you aren't going to understand it. But that's okay, because what's understood between you and God is understood between you and God. Nobody else. Not your mom, not your dad, not your family, not your aunt, not your uncle, not your cousins, not your friends, not your co-workers, not your best friends, nobody. And you might feel like you're alone along the way, but you are not. The best company you can have, the best person you can have around you, no matter what you're going through, who will never leave you, is God and God alone. So yeah, y'all, that was my question / lesson of the day. Where do you stand with God? Where do you stand in your relationship with him? Again, just sit with that question, write it down in a notebook, in a journal, think about what you need to do. God's waiting on you. All you gotta do is move and do what you need to do. Was the lesson today. I hope y'all liked it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm so tired. I just finished working out. I worked out, and then straight to do this video, y'all. I'm exhausted, but no matter what you do what you love, and God will give you the strength to do it. Better go eat some food, because if y'all know me, y'all know I need my food. Okay? But yeah, y'all, so I hope that this video touched y'all the way that it has touched me. I hope and pray that this video touched your hearts the way that it has touched mine. Pray that God just continues to cover each and every one of you who sees my videos, who have been watching my videos, my content. I really appreciate you guys, and please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, y'all. I'm excited to be on this journey, and yeah, y'all, so I hope you have a good rest of y'all's day. Stay blessed, be safe, and I will see y'all soon.